mission of Primavera and StrongMind. StrongMind exists to support digital schools around the country, and what we set out to accomplish is to provide a superior experience for the students and families that come to our school. And when they come to our school, what they're looking for is a digital learning program. So they're remote learners or they're hybrid learners. We have virtual schools that we support around the country. We also have hybrid schools, which are brick and mortar schools where the students come to the school, and they also do a lot of the learning remotely as well. And so we recognized, probably we've been in existence for almost 20 years now, and we recognized that there was a real need to create a program in this space that would allow students to have a superior user experience when they're students of ours or of other schools. And so we actually focus heavily on the content and the user experience, and they go and flow with one another, but they are a little bit different. So when we speak in terms of the user experience, we're talking about the total experience that the student has. Anything from their enrolling into the school, becoming students, taking courses with us, and how does that experience that they have with us, what is that experience, and how do we make that experience just a superior experience for the students and the guardians or the parents of the students.
One thing that I think is key to the mission, and it's been part of the mission since Damian started the Primavera School 20 years ago, is that irrespective of where a family lives, they should have access to a quality set of online instruction. And that's been something that has driven Damian, driven the company, driven everyone in the school, is that it shouldn't matter where you live. You should have access to quality online instruction, comprehensive, wonderful teaching, irrespective of where you live. And I think from a technology perspective, we deliver that. I think we also have made it primary in our mission to empower teachers to use technology. Really, really equip them well and make them a part of the experience, not secondary in the experience. So I think between bringing it to the people and empowering teachers, we've really fulfilled the mission for over 20 years.
So one of the areas that a lot of schools struggle with when they're delivering digital content is that it seems so disjointed, and there's so many different places where a parent needs to go in order to check their student's grade or progress in the student's class. And we really hope to, what we set out is we try to simplify all of that so that our parents and our students have an enjoyable experience, but more meaningful than that is we want to make sure that every student is actually learning, because that's really the goal for us, is to make sure that the students learn when they're here in our program. And so that's what we focus on. I had this vision when I started this 20 years ago, and I wanted to be involved in a space where I was adding value to my community. They talk about conscientious capitalism, and so I wanted to not only do something to where I could run and own my own business, but I also wanted to do something that was going to be very valuable and valuable for other people, internally for the team members that we have on our team, and externally for the stakeholders that are a part of our school. And so that was really important to me. But I recognized really quickly that I couldn't do that by myself, that I was going to have to build a team. And so I've spent my entire life's work trying to identify the smartest people in the industry and trying to attract them to our organization and trying to create a culture that we can keep and embrace all of the team members, because it really does take a team of tremendously talented people who understand what they're doing. And what I've recognized is that my vision is not enough to get us to where we want to go. We really need those subject matter experts in their field who have deep knowledge and experience to bring this all to bear and make sure that everybody is getting a quality experience.
I think there will be more online learning. I think that people who maybe thought it wasn't for them will discover that it's for them. I don't think it will ever be for everyone like it has been since March of 2020. I think it will be more than 2% like it had been before March of 2020. I think that we have learned, and everyone has learned, that engagement is the key. And so I think as public schools, as private schools, as charter schools, as they all start figuring out how to engage kids online, we're going to find that kids are more and more attracted to that. We're probably going to see more and more hybrid settings as people have an increasing discomfort with returning to how things used to be. There'll be some who will be fine. But for those who aren't yet there, a hybrid setting is going to be great, where kids interact from irrespective of where they are with their classmates, with their teachers. And I think we're going to see some real development in hybrid learning, which is exciting. Certainly every kid could benefit from some form of hybrid learning, even if they're never going to be full-time online learners. They're going to get something great out of doing a portion of it online, because that's what they're going to see in the workplace. That's what they're going to see in college. And so I think it's going to be increasingly more comfortable. I don't think we're there yet. I think we saw a lot of what didn't work in the spring of 2020. I think we're starting to see more of what can work, particularly for more vulnerable populations this fall. And I think it's a springboard. I think it'll be a springboard for all of us who have been working to do this. It's hard. It's really hard. And I think that's what a lot of people discovered in spring of 2020. This isn't that easy, or everybody would be doing it. There's a reason there's only 2% who've done it historically. I think that we're gonna see more doing it, but I think there's going to be a recognition for this is difficult. And for those who want to do it well, there's going to be a place now to do it well.
There are those magical moments that we've all had in education, whether you're sitting in front of a professor who knows how to deliver the content, and you're receiving that content, and you're just really having this magical experience in this moment of learning something. We have worked tirelessly to translate that into a digital format and to recreate those magical moments of learning, because that's where we get the engagement of the student to buy in and to really lean into the process of learning. And so we are all focused on how do we develop these magical moments for these students. And one of the other great things about which drives us is the democratization of education. Here in Arizona through Primavera, we have students who come from the most affluent zip codes in Arizona, and students who come from some of the most economically challenged zip codes, remote students in the most remote places in Arizona. And yet all of these students together, collaboratively coming together, it helps to democratize this education for these students. And that's something we're super proud of, is that we can help students wherever they are, and regardless of how much money their parents makes or how little resources they may have, this is an opportunity to democratize education. And so it's super gratifying, and it's very rewarding. And that's one of the biggest things that I think drives all 700 of the people in our organization, is that we really feel like we are adding value to our community, and making sure that the children in the community are getting a really superior product, a superior education, and that they're able to get value from what we're offering them.
I think 2021 and beyond will be an exciting time for online learning. I think it'll be an interesting time overall for education, but I think for online learning it will be particularly interesting. I do think that the things that were learned in spring of 20 for people who haven't done this for decades will inform what gets done in the future, and it will only get better. For folks like us that have been doing it for a long time, I think there's a recognition of how difficult this is and how challenging it is, and it will accelerate what we do a little bit. The interest is high, the enrollments are good. I think that right now it is ours to grab. We've been talking a little bit, Damian's talked a lot about how there's been a resistance in education to totally embrace technology like many other industries have. There's been a lot of inertia behind doing things the same old way, and I think when they flipped the switch in March of 20, that inertia, that energy dissipated into the universe. And I think it's ours to harness. And that's really what we're looking at for 2021 and beyond, is how do we harness all of that energy that's floating around out there, all of the untraditional stuff now that can be ours. How do we grab that, and how do we bring that into the online universe and make it ours? And I think it's really exciting. I think technology is going to drive a lot. I think personalized and customized instruction will win out here. I think if we learned anything, it's that kids are learning differently. Every kid is learning differently and is at a different point in their learning. And technology is that thing that can truly differentiate instruction with really good teaching as well. But I think if folks are willing, like we are, to sit and think about really carefully and really critically, how do you meet kids where they are and differentiate instruction? I think 2021 and beyond is going to be wonderful for online learning and really great for kids.